So there are a few differences with DisplayPort and HDMI. So HDMI can do up to 8K, I believe, and these have audio return channels as well as CEC, Consumer Electronic Control. The difference with DisplayPort, which is this connector, one physical difference you could see is the connector. You can see this one here has a different connector. And DisplayPort is powerful. It can support daisy chaining. And you can also get a DisplayPort to HDMI passive adapter. But for HDMI to DisplayPort, you need an active adapter. So this can be daisy chained. The difference is with daisy chaining is that it does have the bandwidth, and when you're watching videos, you might see artifacts. DisplayPort also does up to 8K, but this does not have CEC or ARC. But this one does have really good display connection as well. So DisplayPort is one of the newer connectors that doesn't require a licensing fee, unlike HDMI. HDMI requires a licensing fee. Not many TVs will have DisplayPort. Not many TVs will have it. I know the Promethean boards have DisplayPorts. Promethean boards. I think SmartBoard as well. Those are two interactive boards that you can use. So you can see the DisplayPort connection is completely different. Now some DX-shaped clips, so it actually holds in, and then HDMI just has this. So they're both polarized, so you cannot get it in the wrong way or it won't fit. But you can see here that this one here has two cutouts on the sides, and then this one just does not. Now HDMI is what you normally see on like a TV itself. And hold on, let me switch it off. What you see on TV for HDMI, DisplayPort you mostly found on computer monitors and PC. So this is the most used connection. Also on Dell PCs, like the Dell Optiplex or Dell Precision type PCs, will have this type of connector. It will not have HDMI connector. For HDMI connectors like this, you will have to get a DisplayPort to HDMI if you wanted to use it with an HDMI monitor. That's the only difference. And DisplayPort does work on Type-C Thunderbolt. That's how it works. Thunderbolt 4. DisplayPort is really, really good with the display outputting features. So DisplayPort is, of course, a different connector. And also, you can with DisplayPort, there's a lot more features with DisplayPort itself as well. So only downfall is that unlike DisplayPort, HDMI has that audio return channel and CEC. But DisplayPort is a pretty good connector for high resolution videos. So you might see DisplayPorts on monitors like the Dell, and then the Acer monitor as well. So and every PC graphics card and motherboard will have DisplayPort, but will also have HDMI as well. So now DisplayPort you don't normally see on a laptop like my ThinkPad here. You don't normally see it on the ThinkPads. You don't normally see it on the ThinkPads at all. You see it like on the computer monitors and the PC. However, you can get DisplayPort if you get a Type-C dock. Now, Type-C docks are pretty expensive. If you want to get ones that have the DisplayPort connections, they're pretty expensive. So DisplayPort is only really used on PCs and monitors. That's only where it's used by. VGA is officially retired. They're no longer on monitors anymore. No longer on monitors. Because it switched to HDMI and DisplayPort. And yes, DisplayPort does put audio through as well. So, because my Dell monitor has the DisplayPort connections, and these speakers are not actually plugged into my PC's audio. It's plugged into the audio port of this monitor here. So, and audio still goes through it. Let me log in. Yeah, I have a fingerprint reader for my PC because it's so simple to log in. That's the whole reason why I got it as well. So let's see here. Yeah, set to that. You might hear that. Let me turn my speakers up a little bit. Yep, DisplayPort can definitely do sound through. And also, since I have an NVIDIA graphics card, if I go up and open the control panel, you can see right here. So we got HDMI, and that's this Dell monitor over here. So HDMI can actually switch off audio, and if you actually use a DisplayPort to HDMI, it does register that you have HDMI plugged in, which is kind of interesting. But you see, on DisplayPort, you cannot switch those off, but you can disable them. So the Acer one is this one next to it, and the one on the very top, Dell, is this monitor here. So the first port is actually the main port for BIOS. So that's how it works. So that's how DisplayPort works. HDMI also does have audio as well. So, and I believe both, you can have one of those switch boxes. Now, DisplayPort can be converted to DVI as well as this one. DVI is also a digital signal as well, but it doesn't do audio through. So I think mostly with those adapters, it's meant for PCs if they don't have the audio cable. That's how it works. So you could, but the more you know that HDMI and DisplayPort have some similarities and have some differences. So we can switch over this video.